Hello, YouTube. How's it going? I feel like it's been a little while. It's been since Sunday, so 5 whole days. I had a pretty bad headache starting on Monday, and then wait, what was it? Starting on Monday, and then I took the day off of work on Tuesday, and then I was still feeling kind of crappy on Wednesday, which is why I didn't want to do my part 2 of the stream on Wednesday because, yeah, you have to like really focus in these ones, and my brain was just not having it that day. So I'm really excited to be here today for this one, for my part 2. I see I have friends, Gary, Mr. Range Lab, Jolene. Hello, hello. I'm so excited to see you guys here. Oh, Demi's here. Hi, Demi. Yes, I'm feeling much better now. Thank you so much. It is very, very dry here. And so my eyes hurt just because of how dry it is. So, like, generally my eyes have been better, but it is minus a million here, and so our house is extremely dry. So I've just been like sitting with a humidifier, and that actually really helps my eyes. And my hands are like falling apart because it is so dry here. It's so dry. Hey Amanda, how's it going? Been sick as well with some sort of lung cold. I'm sorry to hear that, Danny. I am happy you're here. I hope you can get some rest. So in our last video, we did part 1 of this speech from Peter Cox of Amway, and he's telling us 20 things we need to do to find success in our Amway business. He told us in the other part 1 that we need to have a dream, we need to counsel with our uplines, we need to have a good work ethic, we need to read Amway books, edify our uplines, follow up within 48 to 72 hours, plug into the system such as different kinds of tapes, we need to have our own whiteboard, we need to go to all of the events. And now we're on part 2. So I'm really excited and I'm ready to get started.
Complete side A. Please fast forward to the end of side A, then turn the cassette over.
Profile for Success. Do you have that book? Are you using that book the right way? Do you understand that that is a tool? In the in-home meeting, just don't leave it lying there under the coffee table. Use it during the plan. When I do it, I talk about Peter and Angie Ross, Norman and Glenda Leonard, and Jim and Nancy Dornan. Use it. A great way to do this with this book is to put that book up with the Network 21 Square and at the end and say there's $1 billion worth of business in this book.
I don't know what book exactly he's referencing. I didn't catch it at the end of our part 1, but he's saying all you have to do is just have this book on your coffee table with the Network 21 Square, which is an Amway tool scam company run by Nancy and Jim Dornan. And you just have to have that book out on your coffee table, and then people will ask you questions, and then all you need to do is say, there's billions of dollars worth of business in this one book. So if only business success in Amway was as easy as just showing a book that no one outside of the Amway system actually knows what it is. No one knows who Jim and Nancy Dornan are outside of Amway. So like this book is meaningless for everybody else. How is there a right way to read a book? I know, right? Ugh. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Cute kitty, Danny. I like your cat in your picture.
There's about 120 key people that you might want to read about over a cup of coffee. And if I can fit you in, I'll make a time because I'm busy. See the difference?
Why do you say I'm pissed? You're like, if I fit you in, I'll see you. I'm busy. Like, why are you teaching us to have such a confrontational approach with our prospects? Like, if we want our prospects to trust us and we want them to buy something off of us, you think we would approach them in a different way? I know he's probably just trying to make a point and show like, you just have to control the conversation. You have to like be strong and have posture, like Ray Higdon says. But the way that he's explaining it, like I wouldn't like it if someone talked to me like that when they're trying to get me to buy something. I've been reading them front to back this whole time without knowing I could be doing it wrong.
Or do you just say, oh, there's a few dudes around here that are drawing circles and they're called diamonds? $1 billion worth of business. Pretty powerful statement. And you say, can't you see it? I love saying that to people. See it? There's $1 billion worth of business in here. But you can't see it. And you can't see what we see. So why don't you come and check out our world? Here's a ticket. Here's a tape. See you on Friday. You understand that? I always get my numbers mixed up. Number 9, teachability. Are you teachable? Do you understand you need to be teachable? Do you understand that your upline knows more than you about this business? And if they say you've got to change, you've got to change. If they say you're not drawing enough plans, you need to draw enough plans. If they say you're not wide enough, you need to go wide. If they say you're not dressing well enough, you've got to dress well. If they say you've got long hairs growing out of your nose, you've got to cut them out of your nose. You understand that? You understand?
I think it's important in our professional life to be teachable, to maybe like coachable as well. If your boss in a respectful manner comes to you and says, "Hey, you did a good job in this part, but I think in this part you could improve a little bit, and here's how I want you to improve." I think it's important for us in a professional setting to say, "Okay, that's good advice. Thank you. I'll implement that next time." But the Amway version, the MLM version of being teachable is what he literally just said. You have to just take everything your upline says at face value. What they say goes, even if you don't agree with it. You have to just do everything they say. So to be teachable, to be coachable in MLM just means not questioning anything. Just say yes. Just say yes to everything your upline says. And that's really toxic. Like, if it were our own business owners, we should be able to say no to things that we don't feel are applicable to our experiences. And just like if a manager said, "Hey, I want you to come to work this Saturday at 10 a.m. and say you have like your kid's birthday party at 10 a.m. You should be able to be like, "No, I'm sorry, I can't work Saturday at 10 a.m. But if you need me, I can work Saturday evening because my kid has a birthday party." Like in a normal average environment, it would be okay to say no to things. But here you can't. Hi, Neil. How's it going? It's lovely to see you. I hope you enjoyed your yoga. Oh, hi, Page Actress. Thank you for joining. It's nice to see you. Yes, it's important to take advice and criticism from people with more experience. Yeah, but teachable or coachable in MLM is way more controlling. Exactly. Jolene, leave my nose hair alone. Leave it alone. Love that. Hi, everyone. I'm hanging out on my lunch break. Hello, Tori. How's it going? Do you have anything yummy for lunch? What always stands out to me in any MLM video is there's no space for individuality. You can't just like be unique or do things that make you happy in an MLM. Like, I can't sit here. Would I be able in Amway? Would I be able to go to an event in like my sweatshirt because it's minus a million degrees out and I don't want to wear anything other than a sweatshirt? Probably not, because I need to dress appropriately. I need to look the part, right? Or else I'm not a serious business owner.
Are you teachable?
Nope.
I don't know. Do you understand you need to be teachable in this business? Do you understand you need to follow your upline around to be teachable, to learn? If you want to learn, watch the successful people in this business. Follow them in depth. Watch how they work in those living rooms. Go deep. Say, can I go to that pull-down meeting that you're doing on Thursday night? I'd really like to bring a couple of that, but I want to see how you draw that plan. It's up to your upline as to whether they'll let you come. But if they say yes, I'd be there. Don't stay at home on Thursday night and watch TV.
I agree, but I don't agree. Anyone who's been on my channel for a bit, you know I really love women's hockey. I love the Canadian women's Olympic national ice hockey team. Haley Wickenheiser, who's thought of as probably the top female player in the world. She said she started in the national team when she was like 15, but growing up on the national team, she studied the game of other people, like NHL stars. She would watch tapes of other teams and watch how they played and like if she's going up against a certain player, she would look at how the defenders like defended certain parts of the ice and like how they would turn when they would make a hit or how they would try to clear the puck. And she really studied every aspect of the game. So I think like a lot of the things they say here, MLM people say that advice is really reasonable on a really broad surface level. But in the Amway context, like us following around a big fancy upline and doing what they're doing is not going to help us succeed in Amway, where it's a system that's made for us to fail, where only a few tiny amount of people actually make any money within the Amway compensation plan. And those who are extremely wealthy within Amway, they're not wealthy because of the comp plan. They're wealthy because they have an Amway tool scam company attached and they're making money off of re-victimizing already extremely financially and mentally vulnerable people who were deceived into Amway and are deceived a second time to buy into these Amway tool scam companies. Can we hear it okay, friends? Like I feel like it's loud, but then it kind of goes in and out a little bit. I don't have headphones so I'm not hearing myself. Can you guys hear it okay? Let me know if you can't. Exactly. You can't be an individual because you have to be a duplicate of your upline. Exactly. Oh, hey, Lori. No worries. You're chatting with your brother. That's lovely. I hope your brother's doing well.
Get out. Get somewhere. Learn. Get it into your blood. Get the
Thank you, Neil. I appreciate you letting me know. Thank you.
business into your blood.
Why? Sorry. I'm pausing it every 5 seconds. Why in the world does our job need to be in our blood? Thank you, Danny. I appreciate that. Like, I'm very proud of my job. I worked hard to get into this kind of position, but I work hard when I'm at work, and then when I'm out of work, unless there's been like twice since being in this job where I've had to work overtime, unless I'm asked to work overtime, I don't think about work, or at least I really try not to. My work life is separate than like my identity as just a person, as a spouse, a friend, a daughter, a sister. Like they're separate. And in your average employment environment, if someone told me like your job needs to be in your blood, I would be quite worried and I would feel like it's culty. And I feel like that would be a red flag.
Number 10, do you understand you need a good family life to make it in this business? Has anyone worked that out? You need balance. If you're a father out there with 3 kids and you haven't been home for 4 months because you're the greatest circle drawer that draws more plans than anyone else in the Amway business, but you haven't sponsored anyone for 4 months, I'd back off of it. You need balance. Get that family unit right. That was something that Debbie and I had to really work on, and we didn't know how important that was. But when we look back, one of the most important things we've learned in 5 years at this level in the business is that we know if the family unit is good, if things are working well at home, if the wife is building up the husband is building up the wife, the kids are involved in the goal setting of the Amway business, they're dreaming about going to Disneyland and they're pushing mum and dad out to that meeting and there's no emotional pressure in that house, your business will grow. But if you're knocking heads all day,
Where the irony of him telling us for us to be successful in Amway, we need to get our family life right is shocking to me because even on my tiny channel, various people who've come through my Amway streams have told us in these chats the harm that Amway can bring to the family unit, to relationships, to time being spent together. And notice he's not telling us get your family life right because I care about you and I want you to be happy and I want you to have good relationships. No, get your family life right so you're able to focus on your business and you can focus on your business and you have adequate support. So I see he was kind of talking fast. So I can slow him down. Oh, that's the wrong one. Let me slow him down a little bit because I had him at just 1.1. I just do like 1 point because it's so hard because sometimes I'm like, okay, he's fast. And then other times I'm like, he's way too slow. And so, like, I feel like I never know which speed I actually wanna have them at, and I felt like just normal speed was way too slow. But let me know if this is less fast or a better speed. It's very yeah, it's very 80s era type work now, play later attitude. Do we even get a family life when you're in Amway? I have doubts. Exactly. Exactly. I only caught a word or two. Balance? Yeah, right. They'll say you need balance, but if you actually stop working on Amway 5 nights a week, your upline will say you're not working hard enough. Exactly. And how are we supposed to show the plan all the time? He told us in part one we have to show 20 good plans a month, right? But like if you want us to focus on the quality of our family relationships, then that's going to take time away from our Amway business. It's going to take time away from prospecting and showing the plan. So what are we supposed to do? These tips, I guess, they're all just ways to draw attention away from the Amway business model and blaming the individual when they don't make money. So now he can look back and say, well, you don't make any money in Amway because you don't have your family life right. So true, Neil said, for sure. And yeah, like why is the value of our family life only on their role in our business? Why is that the only reason you care? Shouldn't you care because you want your friends in your Amway business to be happy with their relationships, right?
Hey, long. Have an spats. Best of luck. So what do you need to do to get that family life sorted out? You know, I would advise you need at least one whole day off out of this business a week. And I know people come along and go, I can't find the time. Fine, disintegrate. Then you can hang around in the 40-year plan for the next 40 years. You'll have plenty of time to think about it. Number 11, 3.
You're so rude. Fine, don't take a day off. Disintegrate. Ooh. My hands are bleeding. Can you see that? It is so dry. I wanted to put cream on, but I'm about to like touch my husband's computer and I know he wouldn't like that, but like, oof. It is miserable here. It is so miserable and cold and dry and it's upsetting. When I'm done here, I'm going to put a crap ton of cream on and blast the humidifier. What was I even saying? Take a day off of work, but if you're showing less plans, if you're not prospecting enough people, they're going to question why you're not working hard enough. And then you'll say, well, sir, you literally told me to take a day off. Well, obviously you shouldn't take a day off if you're not finding the level of success you want in your business. It's all just contradictory. It's all like just a way to gaslight us later, in my opinion. Exactly. To sort your family out, you need to quit. He said take a day off. Demi, he sure did. Leaders of Life, such an obnoxious title, right? Leaders of Life, this was 6 years ago. This is brilliant. I always preferred the in-your-face approach. Oh, you're having a blizzard here tonight? It's not snowing, but it's like minus 35 degrees Celsius, feels like minus 40 something degrees Celsius, and like dry as crap. It's dry as crap, and I'm like bleeding constantly. Anyway, I'll stop complaining. I'm sorry. Oh, the blizzard missed you. That's good. Okay. The advice is constantly contradicting itself, so you can never feel like you actually know what you're doing. It makes you feel dependent on the upline for guidance. That's such a good point. Love that.
Tapes a day. You're listening to 3 tapes a day. One in the morning, one on the way to a plane, one on the way back. I don't know. Average, minimum, 3 a day. You got to stay plugged in. I listened to that Nancy Dornan leadership tape yesterday. What distracts you, I think it was. What a tape. But driving to that follow-up, not feeling great. John Layton beat me by 3 shots yesterday. But John distracted me. He did hit his golf ball in front of me, so Nancy taught me about that. But I wasn't very distracted by the time I walked into that living room to do that get start session. You understand? Just focused.
So now we're not finding success because we're not listening to 3 tapes a day. We need to listen to when did he say to listen to the first tape? In the morning, like when we're getting ready on our way to our showing the plan, and then on the way home. It doesn't matter. I guess it doesn't matter what kind of tapes we listen to. Like, he didn't give us advice. You should have one part of your tape, one tape being about prospecting, one tape about mindset, one tape about this, one tape about mechanics, one tape about whatever topic. So I guess it doesn't really matter. Like, Sir Peter, if we just listen to all mindset tapes or all tactical tapes, is that still going to help us? I feel like your advice should be a little bit more specific than that. And do you want us to listen to an entire tape? Because this video here, it's side 1, side A, and side B, and it's almost 40 minutes long. So we're listening maybe, let's call it just half an hour. So 3 half-hour tapes, that's already an hour and a half of work that unfortunately we're not getting paid for. There's just so much unpaid labor in MLMs, in Amway in general, and there's no guarantee that from us purchasing and listening to these tapes that we're actually going to find any level of financial success at all. And by that, I literally just mean making a little bit more than what we spend. No, we're not going to. The only way we're going to make more than what we spend is if we're able to convince hundreds of people to join our downline, and then they actually stay because they need to stay. And he's going to say later, you just can't have width. You just can't have lots of people on your first line. You need to have people deep in your downline as well. So if the people you convince to join you are not recruiting themselves, then you're shit out of luck. Shit out of luck. They always have a reason to blame you for failing if their advice contradicts itself. Yeah, exactly. You don't follow one or the other well enough. Exactly. They predicted we get 7 inches of snow a few days ago, and we got about 1, so I'm shocked we're getting as much as we are. It's probably more than 6 inches so far, and still snowing. Is that a lot? I'm trying to visualize. What's inches? 6 inches to centimeters. Because we do it in centimeters. Okay, so that's 15 centimeters. That's a lot. That's a lot of snow. Wow. Stay safe. And so Danny was getting a lot of snow too. Love that. Make the person unable to trust their own version of reality, so they must rely on yours. You guys are so smart. Oh, you're 20 minutes outside NYC. Haven't gotten anything other than freezing rain and a few temps dropping into the 30s and high 20s. Is that cold? I can't do Fahrenheit. I cannot translate it. Yeah, they don't care which one as long as you buy them all. Exactly, because you have to be dialed in, you have to be engaged in the system, or else you're not going to find success. Exactly. Take a day off, but listen to tapes and show the plan every single day, right, William? It sounds so tiring. Oh, all the snow went north. Oh, that's good. It snowed a little while ago, but it hasn't snowed since. Okay, let's keep going.
How bad do you want it? See, as a diamond, I need to listen to those tapes. You want to know why? Otherwise, I'm just going to stay in front of the fire. I'll never get there. I'll have so many distractions. I'll never turn up. There's so much rubbish involved, isn't there, in this business? Yeah? Tough. Don't get distracted. 3 tapes a day will help you. Number 12. Are you on time? Do you understand you need to be on time? For a follow-up, for a plan, for a counselling session. Never keep your upline waiting at a counselling session because they may have 3 lined up that day. 3. And maybe you're number 2 in the queue and number 3's arriving in an hour's time and they've only given you an hour. You don't walk up to your upline and say, I want 3 hours time today, bucko. Just keep that.
I want 3 hours of time today, bucko. You didn't say it like that. Bucko, that's so funny. Bucko. That's not the point. Okay.
In mind. And you see, if you start holding your upline up, you wait till your downline starts doing it to you. If you get it right with your upline, and I know people have kids, and I know they have work pressures, and they're out there driving the miles, and they're trying to do the business, and blah 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 blah. Guess what? Leaders are never late, always on time.
Again, that's not terrible advice, because if you're in a new job and you're constantly being late, you're always half hour late to meetings, or you show up late in the mornings, your new boss is probably not going to be thrilled with you, and they may or may not question whether you were the right hire. It's not professional to be late. However, in an average employment environment, if you're late because of circumstances outside of your control, like your child gets sick, or it's like dumping snow and it's a blizzard and you get stuck in like a traffic jam on an icy highway and you can't get to work in time, an average normal boss will probably understand and they won't get mad at you. But he's telling us here, never be late to a counseling session, never be late to a follow-up. And sure, it's a good idea not to be late, but showing up on time to your counseling session is not going to help. My throat's making weird noises. I hope that did not come through on my microphone. Showing up on time to your counseling sessions is not going to do anything, is not going to matter, because the counseling sessions are useless anyways. They're useless. Yes, counseling with the upline, William, it's not like a business strategy session. It's about change. It's about mindset. It's about being willing to listen to your upline, buy into what your upline says, and change yourself to be better in your Amway business. No way, Jose. I don't like it. And Danny's in Southern Ontario. Yeah. In April, I went to Brampton to go to the IIHF World Women's Hockey Championships. So I was definitely close by. I know Southern Ontario is huge, but I was in that general vicinity. We're supposed to have down to minus 25 Fahrenheit, minus 31 Celsius the next few days with the wind chill, which is not normal for here. Chilly. And yeah, it's not normal temperatures here either. I feel like normal in winter is like minus 10 to like minus 20 degrees Celsius, not like 40. It's about regularly scheduled programming. What is the temperatures?
I can't stand being late for anything. Be on time. But you'll only be on time if you understand this is a business, because what happens if you turn up to work late? But that's all right, isn't it? Because that's a real business. That's a real job. Number 13, do you understand this is not a game? This is hardball. This is a business. It's a business. It's not a game. We have people that say,
why do you think people may think it's a game? Which I highly doubt anyone thinks it's a game in Amway. Like, that's false. But people will always say, like, are the MLM coaches we always look at on my channel, people think it's going to be easy. People think all they have to do is just sign up and then they're magically going to be rich. And that's not the case. And I'm thinking, well, ma'am, it's your fault for not ensuring that your clients, your customers, have realistic expectations of their program, of what it's going to do for them. So if people are coming into Amway thinking that it's going to be easy to make money, that they don't need to work that hard, it's not their fault. It's not that they're lazy. It's not that they're not willing to sacrifice. It's that you were dishonest. I'm going to speed him up. He's bugging me. It's that you were dishonest and you probably lied to them in order to get them into the business. Sorry, I'm speeding him up slightly, just the next level up. Yeah, 105, 1.1. He's bothering me. Not good cycling weather. Right, Neil? Not minus 30 degrees Celsius. Texas people are worrying about a repeat of all the power outages 3 years ago. Yeah, that must have been stressful for sure. It's not a real business. That's a real business, a real job. He's trying to say, like, what's his point? Because he would think Amway is a real business, like Amway is our business, and so it's not okay for us to be late in Amway, but it is okay for us to be late in our job because it's not a business. Do you think he said our job is the real business or Amway is the real business? It doesn't really matter.
But we thought it was going to be fun. Well, yes, it is fun. But first and foremost, it's a business. And there are things that you need to do in a business that you don't like doing that may cause pain. That isn't fun. But if you want the end result, which is the money, the time, and the lifestyle, which equals fun in capital F, capital U, capital N, then it's a game.
Again, I don't disagree with the fact that at a job, no matter how much you love it, there are going to be things we don't like. I'm trying to think for me, what don't I like? I don't like I'm not good with technical things, with spreadsheets and numbers and doing different equations in Excel. I don't like that. I'm not good at it. I'd rather be writing and researching and editing things, right? But those things do not cause me pain. Those things do not make me overstep my ethical or my moral boundaries to do my job. But in Amway, if there's something we don't like, such as using our child to prospect people or prospecting the person who collects the dishes at a restaurant, prospecting restaurant employees when we're uncomfortable and we think we're being predatory, that is not the same as me not liking Excel. That is something that I'm doing that I feel like I shouldn't be doing, that I feel like is maybe a little bit immoral. Maybe I feel like I'm being deceitful or I'm lying. And that's a big difference. He's just trying to, in my opinion, legitimize us feeling unsure about certain parts of our business, which it's not the same thing. It's not. Do you know what I mean? I'm not making a whole lot of sense. He does sound mean, exactly. He was saying that we would never be late for a job because we feel that that's a real business, but we'd be late for an Amway meeting because we're not taking it seriously enough. And he's going to tell us later that we don't take our Amway business seriously because we only pay $200 to get started. And if we paid $100,000, then we'd be more willing to take it seriously and sacrifice more for our business, which I hate. I hate that. I don't think I've caught a single word he said in the last couple of minutes because I'm just tooting him out because he's yelling and sounds so angry. Aw, fair. Oh no, I almost put Lori in timeout. I would never do that. I was just trying to click Lori's comment and then I clicked the little thoughts instead and I almost clicked timeout. I would never. We have paid to do our jobs. True. I get compensated for my time. I said this a million times before. Like, I have my job because of my background, my education, and my skills, and I deserve to be compensated for my background. Even so, during school, when I was working minimum wage jobs, I deserve to be compensated because I put in time and effort while I was at work. So I deserve to be compensated for said time and effort. But in Amway, you do not. These people have no respect for anyone's time that's not dedicated to Amway. Exactly. But he told us we need to get our family life right and we need to take one day a week off from our business. But they don't want you to. They don't, because then that's attention being taken away from the Amway system, right?
But I know that there are people that still don't understand that this is not a game. It is a business. If you had $100,000 tied up into this thing, would it be a game? So what I recommend you do is invest money into the business. The more you invest into it, the less you'll play with this thing. I wish it could.
Again, so we're not making any money in Amway because we don't invest enough, right? We need to go to more conferences. We need to buy more tapes. We need to buy more books and buy more products. And then we'll have more skin in the game. We'll be more invested. Then we'd be more willing to sacrifice. And he's not telling us to invest more out of the goodness of his heart because he thinks it's going to benefit us. No, it's because he gets income from that volume. He gets bonuses when us as members of his downline buy more products. That part makes me mad. No, sir. No, sir. Sorry, angry guy. I don't have time for Amway. My family's a bunny, and she demands pets, and that's way more important. I love that. That's awesome.
Cost people $2,000 to register into this business. Not $200. What a joke. To start and get some products and plug into some tapes. You know? That's why it is a game.
Okay, I promise I'm gonna let it play for like a minute at a time after this. I swear. $200? Oh, that's a joke. For a lot of people, for the majority of people, at some point in their life, $200 was a lot of money. Some people may have $200, but it could be allocated to a specific budget item. For many people, 200 is a huge financial risk. It is a huge financial risk. And perhaps that could be why they are deciding to not leave the business because they already invested $200 and they're just trying to make their money back. Okay, I'm going to let it play for at least a minute.
That's why we have those new people that go, well, I don't know whether I can fit Saturday in. If I said $100,000, they'd say, what time do we start? Is that how you treat your business? That's one thing that's always worked for Debbie and I. It's never been a game. It's always been a business. Always. Number 14. Is that right? Do you understand vital signs? Do you want the pin or the money? Do you want your moment of glory with your direct pin up here with 3 in your group because you sold 45 CMSs for 6 months in a row? Or would you rather 100 people here today with 1 or 2 CMSs going through a month, good solid business earning $2,000 a month? You need to be patient. The vital signs means you need to be patient. And it may be that you have a goal set with your upline to hit a certain pin level at a certain time. And I know that we have counseled people and they have had their heart set on this goal, but their vital signs just haven't come together. It may not be because they weren't doing the work. It just hasn't happened. Well, then put it off.
I actually made it the whole minute. Why are we yelling? He's going to explain what vital signs are in just a second, so I could have let him talk, but he's asking us, do we want a pin? So do we want to rank up or do we want the glory? Do we want our names in lights or do we want 100 people at an event? I don't give a shit about a pin. I don't care about a pin. I don't care about useless MLM recognition. I want money because I can't feed my future children. I can't keep a roof over my head with a stupid ass Amway pin. I can't. Hi, Lisa. How's it going? I'm getting a little annoyed about an Amway video, but it's so nice to see you. Exactly, Demi. $200 is a vet visit for your pet. $200 could be a lot, like back to school clothes for someone's kid. It could be an entire week's worth of groceries for their family. That's a lot of money for a lot of people. Even your boss at work. Exactly. If my boss was like, you need to spend your money on this, stop spending your money on that, I'd be like, that's culty. Don't tell me what to do. I am a grown-up. That's more than a full week's pay at minimum wage back then. I have no idea when this was. They never tell us. It was posted 6 years ago, but I don't know like when it actually happened. Oh, I get so frustrated. I got health insurance, a 401k, a consistent schedule, and 40 hours a week. Consistent paycheck every 2 weeks. You know, the things that like lead to financial security. I know other things like we can find financial security in other ways, but in Amway, they just demonize the 9 to 5 so much where Like, if you are in a job what provides you benefits, provides you a pension, provides a consistent paycheck, that will help you set yourself up financially. And I know that I'm privileged. A lot of us are privileged. Not everyone can be in a secure job like that, but they make it seem like you're either in Amway and you're a business owner and you're happy, or you're with a terrible boss in your 9 to 5 where you're barely making any money. No, there can be things in between. It is possible for us to be happy in a 9 to 5. I want money, only money, nothing else. Considering this was supposed to be their job, so money would likely be incredibly tight. Oh, that was a ton of money for me then. Okay, wait, sorry. I'm missing what Demi said. Okay, that's a little less than I was making a week doing art full time in 2008. That was a ton of money for me then. And then Jolene said, especially considering this was supposed to be their job, some money would likely be incredibly tight. Yep, for sure. After enough brainwashing, the pin will become everything to you. It will be an ultimate symbol of false hope. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you. I'm guessing with cassettes, it was recorded no later than the 90s, but I could be wrong. Let's Google Peter Cox Amway and see if we can see when he was in. Peter Cox Amway. Because there used to be an Amway unofficial wiki that I would do a lot of my research on. And it would tell me when distributors would start, when they would get to different ranks. But Amway unofficial wiki is gone now, so I don't see when Peter Cox joined Amway. That's too bad. Where's my mouse? I'm trying to get back to my screen. I'm going to flip my page over because I already have a page of notes from the last 2 videos. What number are we on? I think 14. Yeah, so the next one will be 15. Woohoo! Okay, let's keep going.
But are you teachable? Because we know when the upline comes in and says, but I don't know about that. We know that you want the goal. We know how bad you want it. That it's going to give you all that glory. You're going to feel great. But if it's not built on vital signs, you're going to struggle then. It's going to fall over. Hang back. That's what the vital signs are all about. That's why they're in place. But we'll never stop people from going over. You want to be a 21%er with 3 in your group, 1 on RT? Go for it. You won't get much speaking time, though, I tell you. The vital signs are there to protect you. This business is longevity. Do you understand the vital signs are rules? Now, you can say they're good rules or bad rules, but rules are rules. But that's why we have them, so that people will hit those pin levels at the right momentum and continue to grow. And guess what?
I thought I understood what vital signs were. Does anyone know? I'm not understanding. Amway vital signs. Let's read this. I'm confused. I thought I understood. Do you guys understand? What is this? Amway, the dream or the scheme? Amway.blogspot.com. I don't know if it's like an official thing. Your Amway business vital signs. Because I thought I understood it, but I don't. When you drive a car, you have instruments on your dashboard that let you know how your car is running and possibly whether you need maintenance or repairs. Blah, blah, blah. Your Amway business has some warning devices and gauges. Unfortunately, many IBOs are taught by upline to ignore these indicators or made to think that these warning signs are not to be heeded. Selling products. Are you buying more PV than you're selling? Okay, non-producing income activity. If you spend a lot of time listening to standing orders, reading books, attending meetings, and prospecting people, these activities do not produce any income. In fact, these activities cost you money. Eventually prospecting does pay off, but are you getting a fair return on your time and money spent doing these activities? If you pay for a standing order but are unable to do more than 100 or 200 PV, then your business is not covering the cost of the standing order. Are you showing the plan? If you are having trouble finding people to see the plan, then you will be unable to sponsor enough people to expand your volume. Also, an inability to show the plan also restricts your ability to recruit potential customers. Do people flinch when you mention Amway? Okay. So maybe it's like maybe our vital signs. Did you say like there are rules that we have to follow if we want to get to a certain rank in the business? Then we have to follow certain rules, and we have to look at different metrics in our business to determine whether or not we are successful, such as how much PV we're buying, how many non-producing income activities we're participating in, and so on. Sorry, when I literally listened to this like 5 hours ago and I thought I understood that part, but I don't understand it really. What do you guys think? Maybe I'm tired or something. Back in Wisconsin, it would have been enough to scrape by anywhere other than Madison or Milwaukee, but definitely not enough for the Chicago area. Oh, you grew up in Wisconsin as well. Vital signs. Sorry, I zoned out. So, what did I write about the vital signs? Yeah, like literally all I wrote was vital signs: pain or money, glory or 100 people at events. And then if you work, like if you're really consistent, you could get a business at $2,000 per month. But maybe, yeah, the vital signs are just like rules that we have to follow in order to have a successful Amway business. Maybe. Sorry, I thought I got it, but maybe I don't understand.
But vital signs are frustrating. We want our organization to be bigger than what it is. We want to see more silver. Man, we could pump up another 10 silvers on this stage next month. I already know of ones that will be up here next month on vital signs, but I know of a few that are real close that may not get the green light. You understand that? But we'd never stop you from going. But I tell you what, you got a long slog in between there and Gold Producer. Vital signs are there to help you guys. So worked out by Jim and Nancy, follow them. Are you looking at the number of applications you're bringing in? Are you looking at the number of people that are on RTs? And are you looking at the number of tickets you're selling? They are three real key vital signs you've really got to look at. How many apps did I bring?
Now he's telling us, because that was the part that I was like, oh, I understand. I know how to explain vital signs. But he took a long time in the vital signs point to actually get to that. So I was super confused. And I was like, oh no, I was thinking of something else. But yeah, how many people are we prospecting? How many seminar tickets are we selling? How many tapes are we selling? And we need to track our numbers, track our vital signs to see where we're falling short in our business. Yes, my guess is how the business is going, which means most should quit. Exactly.
Bring in this month? How many people on the tickets and how many people on the RTs? Study it.
I don't know what RT means because you keep saying how many people on the RTs. RTs. I don't know. I just typed in Amway RTs. I'm not sure what RT stands for. Does anyone else know?
Get it into your mind. Set a goal. What goals have you set for the success seminar in May? How many people by then will you have on the tape program? How many apps do you need to bring in between now and the 22nd of May? And how many people will you have at that seminar? Understand? Think about it. How many are going to be on that tape program? Number 15.
How many people are you going to have at seminar? How many people are going to be on certain tape programs? I think it's a good idea to have tangible goals in life, or like in your fitness journey, in your reading journey, in your journey with a new hobby. I think it's great to have tangible goals. But in the Amway context, you could say, I'm going to have 100 people at the seminar with me. But you could prospect hundreds and hundreds of people and invite hundreds of people. But if they know that Amway's a scam, they're not going to go to the conference with you. And it doesn't matter what you do in an industry like this, when it's becoming more and more known that it is an unethical business structure. It is. And so just because we say a numerical goal, just because we speak it out loud, does not mean it's going to happen. If the numbers are vital signs, then quitting is more rational than continuing to invest. Great point, William. Great point.
Are you working in the right living room? Do you understand that this business isn't just to do with running around showing plans wherever you want? You need to make sure you're working in the right living room. The right living room. How do you make sure you're drawing plans in the right living room? Check upline. Who are you checking upline with right now? Or are you just a maverick that doesn't have any communication with anyone upline? Just check. That's what Amlink's all about. Who feels if they hadn't checked upline this week, they would have worked in the wrong living room or made a mistake out there in the marketplace? Anybody? That's right. So it gives you a nice warm feeling that you're checking upline. Now,
so he's saying that we have to be working in the right living room. We can't just be showing plans willy-nilly. And of course, to figure out which living rooms we need to go into, we always need to check upline. And if we decide not to check upline because it's our own freaking business and we should be able to run it the way we want, we are not being independent. We are not taking initiative. No, we're being mavericks. It's always a negative thing in Amway to want to do things by yourself. It is looked at as you are a hotshot. You are said maverick. I think hotshot's a more reasonable term. Like you're a hotshot who doesn't want to listen to anyone and who doesn't want to take advice from anyone. But how do you even define what the right living room is if we don't know them? If we haven't fully truly introduced the plan to the owner of said living room, how are we supposed to know that it's the right one? And also, how would our upline know if it's the right living room? And of course, there's no way to quantifiably prove whether or not a living room is right or wrong. So it's another way to just easily shift the blame from the business structure to the Amway distributor who is working their ass off, who is listening to everything their upline says. It's a way to just blame the victim. Stop with your intelligence and logic. It doesn't belong in Amway. Right, Laurie William, your comments are too intelligent. Oh, he joined in 1988. Oh, thank you. Thank you. So that is, I wonder, did you see if he's still in it or not? Awesome. Cool. Thank you, Jolene.
number 16. Do you understand you need to go deep? Do you have a goal of how deep you need to go between now and 12 months' time? Right now, I want to take a leg another 10 deep in the next 12 months. That's my goal. That's why I went out there with that wisdom tooth and stitches and Gugar, and I look like I've been hit by Muhammad Ali, a truck, and a Bronco all in one. And I arrived on that doorstep. They joined because they felt sorry for me. Going to be here today. I just said, "Fly here." I said, why? I said, because I'm going one deep. I just do it. Shortcake. Got a goal. That's what makes me get out there in them cold, rainy nights, leaving Boo Boo and Dane, who I now call Bruiser. Lock board for Cronulla, 20 years, not a problem.
Amway distributors like Dexter Yeager, and I guess this boy too, always tells us we need to go deep. So we can't just have a big front line. Our front line also needs to recruit, and we also need to stack friends underneath them so they don't quit. We've learned that before. The longer you take to stack people underneath your direct downline, the more likely they are to quit. We need to have a goal of how deep we want to go. He said on one of his legs, he wanted to go 10 deep within 1 month. Going 10 deep is like you're just building a leg. You're just building the leg down, down, and down. And so you could be recruiting all of those people yourself, but you are just adding them to your leg instead of adding them to your front line. Now, I don't know if stacking is actually allowed within the Amway comp plan. I'm not sure. Because if you look at the binary comp plan, you're technically stacking, but it's allowed because there's just 2 legs. You're at the top. You recruit Bob, and then Jessica you can put underneath Bob. And so Bob is benefiting from Jessica's volume, right? And so in some comp plans, it's technically allowed, I guess, but I wonder if you're allowed to in the Amway comp plan. What do we think? The infamous tool scam. It's all the tool scam. He's no longer Network 21, an Amway training group he co-founded. Okay, cool. Oh, Peter Cox, did he really co-found Network 21? Because Jim and Nancy Dornan, I thought they were the ones who founded Network 21. I did not think that Peter Cox did. I didn't. When was Network 21 co-founded? It was yeah. It was founded in 1990 by Jim and Nancy Dornan. Why don't I just show you this? It doesn't really matter that much. Okay, share this instead. The infamous Wikipedia. Network 21 is a training and support organization for distributors working with the Amway business. It was founded in 1990 by Jim and Nancy Dornan, distributors with Amway, originally to support the Amway network in the United States and Australia. They provided complete turnkey business solutions, support solutions for Amway independent business owners. Okay. Yeah, so this is the Amway tool scam company that he was involved in when he was in Amway. I'm not sure if he's still in Amway right now. Okay, let's get back to the comments. Sorry, friends. Keep hearing about a tool scam. What is that? I'm new to learning about Amway. And then let's see. The tools refer to a faction within Amway who sold professional development products rather than Amway products. Great description. That's awesome, William. Lurk IIRC. What's IIRC mean? Yeah, so the Amway tool scam, there are various companies that are kind of under the Amway umbrella, but they operate separate from it. Companies like Network 21, Brit Worldwide, and hundreds of others. What else have I done? Crador Global on this channel, where distributors of really, really high ranks, they open up their own Amway tool scam companies. They create Amway motivational tapes, websites, phone apps. There'll be conferences where the distributors somewhere in their downline will purchase those products from their company. And then certain high-ranking Amway distributors will make income, will make some kind of profit off of the sales of the Amway tool scam products. And distributors like Dexter Yeager and Bill Britt, who were at the very, very top of Amway before they passed away, they made the majority of their wealth not from the Amway comp plan and their volume that they accrued from their downline, but from the sales of their products from their Amway tool scam companies. William explained it better than me. Okay, if I recall correctly. Okay, thank you. It's like, I don't know what that means. As of February 9, he was still in as a Royal Crown founder. Took 3 years to hit diamond. Okay, cool. I did not know that. That's super interesting, Jolene. Thank you for letting us know. I did not know. I thought it was just Jim and Nancy Dornan who did. We have 3 minutes of this left, and it's a little bit faster, so less than 3 minutes.
And I went out there because I'm going one more deep. I'm going 23 deep, 24 deep, 25 deep, 26 deep. I'm focused. You understand? 2 deep a month. Is that how you work this business? Do you understand you need to go deep? Number 17, when you're driving depth, do you understand? Don't let the X pass you by. Don't be 20 deep in the leg and go, wow, there's a diamond couple that joined 14 deep, 6 up. Can't go and help them, guys. Bye. Hope you fail. Are you checking out what's going on in your business? Yes, you need to work at the bottom of the leg. The leaders always work at the bottom of the leg, but yes, there will be people that will come in higher up in the leg that you may need to go and do some get started sessions with and build a relationship and get them started and put 5 on their front line. And maybe that'll become your new taproot. You don't know. Just keep an eye on those things. Number 17. 18. Number 18.
Stop. He's going too fast. Don't let directs pass you by. Work within your whole leg. It doesn't matter where they are in the leg. If they're way farther down in your leg, you still need to work with them. even people above you in the leg. Why would you do get started right calls with people somewhere above you when you're not actually benefiting from their business? So I don't understand why it's our job to not only do get started calls with our downline, but people in our upline as well. Because what if we're below Bill Britt somewhere when he was still with us, and then Bill Britt recruited someone and stacked him underneath someone who's higher up in his downline? Why would we help that person, right? Why is it okay for us to help people in our upline, but not someone in our sideline? That doesn't make any sense. So do sessions with those people higher up in your upline and put 5 people, give them 5 legs, even though it's not going to impact your business, right? The legs are their downlines. Exactly. That was not a very eloquently said point on my end. It's just confusing. Build the legs of your upline. No, thank you.
Are you spending 80% of your time with 20% of the people? Do you understand if you try and spend your time with everybody, nothing will happen?
Okay. My gosh, I'm overwhelmed. Let me go back. No, it's okay. So he said something about tap rooting, and John Melton have told us that you need to be level blind. You need to focus on building relationships with as many people as you can in your downline, because if someone 10 levels down from you starts to rank up a lot and make lots of money, then that's going to positively influence those above them. And it's like, obviously, if someone 10 levels down starts to rank up really fast, then it's going to help everyone above them rank up as well. And so, yeah, people are going to be excited because they could be potentially making more money. And he said, don't spend 80% of your time with 20% of the people. So that's number 18. So I'm not sure. I don't remember what this point is.
Who are you spending your time with? Who are you teaching? Who are you sowing the Amway business into? Who are you training? Who are you teaching to do the plan, to do follow-ups, to move tapes, to become a good promoter? Who are you taking down in depth? Who are you drinking coffee with? Who are you counseling? Who's core? Who's Leaders Club? Who's that next Quicksilver person? You understand that? Who are you focused on? Are you working with the next Quicksilver? Are you in the right league? Is that where the next Quicksilver is going to come? If it is, just stay in there. You never pull out. Work in that Quicksilver leg. Number 9, and are you moving from room to room when you're working depth? Are you going from...
Okay. Who are you teaching? Who are you counseling? Who is the next Quicksilver? So maybe he's saying not to have all your attention, all your effort on like the wrong people, because you could be thinking that one person is going to be like your next superstar in your downline, but then you focus all your attention on them, and then you quickly realize that they don't actually care about their business, that they're not willing to sacrifice and push. So you should be focusing your attention on those who are really invested in finding success in their Amway business. Also, maybe he's trying to say that we can't focus on everyone at the same time. It's impossible to give attention to everyone in your downline because we don't have enough hours in our day to counsel everyone. So we need to be picky about who we're counseling, and then we can find success in our business. So if we don't have success, he's going to say, well, it's your fault because you're trying to help everyone. It's just another way to blame the victim. For sure, very submissive attitude to the upline. Exactly. Factions. It's cool. It's a cool way to think of it, eh? Marissa says, why is this man shouting? They all shout, Marissa. They all shout. Jolene answered the question. He measures wisdom in decibels. I like that. Imagine each top leader to be a faction in themselves. Great. That's such a good point. Because he's fired up. Yeah, they all say like they're giving tough love and they're just excited and passionate, and that's why they're screaming in our faces. But I think in MLM, people don't understand that there's different ways to be a good leader. You can be a good leader and a good speaker and have a more quiet demeanor. You don't need to scream. Your presence doesn't necessarily need to fill a room. There is space in day-to-day life for people to be leaders who aren't your who, when you think of an extrovert, you don't see them necessarily, and they just have a different personality. There's space in life for everyone to be different and also be a leader. Imagine the very idea of telling your upline you want to switch. The very idea of telling your upline you want to switch to a different team. All hell would break loose, William.
Living room to living room, or you driving the same jacuzzi for the last 3 months. You're not working depth. If you want to know if you're building this business, you're lost. If you've got the Gregory's out and you don't know where you're going, you're building depth. You're doing it. But if you don't have the Gregory's out, you're not doing it. If you know where you're going all the time, you're not doing it. But make sure when you've got the Gregory's out, you're going deeper. And last but not least, is your heart changing towards people? Is it changing? Is it softening? Are you loving people, building them up, giving them time to grow? How's your heart? Is it like a block of concrete towards people, or do you have compassion for people? Are you giving them time? Do they feel that you're with them? Do they feel that you really care? Because if you're like a robot, forget it. How's your heart? Is it changing? All of our hearts need to change to make it in this business. And we look forward to seeing you guys in Hawaii. Thanks very much.
Sorry, as I was listening to him, something just like fell off the desk and it scared the shit out of me. I was like, oh my God, there's a robber in this office. Okay, so I didn't really understand number 19 because he didn't actually explain anything. He said, you have to go to living room to living room. You have to get the Gregory's out. I don't know. I don't understand what number 19 was. Did you guys understand what number 19 was? Number 20 is we have to have a heart. We have to have a heart towards people. Like we have to want to change people's lives. We have to want to help people grow. We need to give them time. We need to help them develop. We need to help them discover their passions. And that's another way for us to really just be blamed for the result of our Amway business, right? Like say we're following all these things to a T, but then they're going to go back and tell us, well, you're not giving people time. You don't care about people's passions. But then he literally just told us that we're not allowed to give attention to every single person, right? And we have to be picky with who we spend our time on. But then you're telling us we need to care about people's dreams, and to learn about what people dream, we need to actually spend time and talk to lots of people. When reading that, I imagine them being different cartels going to war with each other. And the various conferences is when the cartels size each other out. I don't think this guy has a passion for people. He has hardly said a single positive thing. Exactly. Does your heart needs to change equate to losing your moral compass and doing ethically questionable things? I didn't even get that. Maybe that was the quote. Maybe that was the quote that I wrote down, but I really I didn't understand it. What did I wrote? Helping people. Oh, heart changing towards people. That's what I wrote. Was that what the quote was? Did he say something about driving a jacuzzi? I'm not sure. When they yell, it makes me not want to listen. People screaming in my face is not going to help me feel like excited or motivated. I respond more to positive reinforcement. Think this guy. What do you mean, think this guy? Oh, yeah, I don't think this guy has a passion for people. Got you. Yeah, same here. No, none of them do. They say that they're charitable, and altruistic, and they want us to succeed, but they're telling us these things just to keep us in the system for as long as possible. So, what did we learn, my friends? We are going to go through this quickly because we already went through the first part before we began. We need to have a dream, a deep why to help us succeed in the business. We need to counsel with our upline, which is teaching us how to change. We need to have a good work ethic to show 20 good plans a month. We need to read the Amway books. We need to edify our uplines, not just because we should edify our uplines, but it needs to come out naturally. It needs to just be part of our everyday conversation. We need to book follow-ups, but we can't do them by ourselves because then we're a maverick hotshot. We need to do it with our uplines. We need to plug into the systems with all the tapes. We need to buy the tapes not only for ourselves, but for the potential members of our downline. We need to have a good family life with balance, even though we know that Amway can destroy family lives and family relationships. He's telling us we need to have a good family life and we need to take at least one day off a week. But when we take that one day off a week, he's going to tell us that we don't care enough about our business and we're not going to find success because we took the one day off, even though that's what he told us to do. We need to listen to 3 tapes a day. It doesn't matter what tapes, just has to be 3. We need to be on time. Wow. We need to know that this business is not a game. We need to have vital signs in which we measure the success of our business. What else? We need to work in the right living room, even though that doesn't make any sense and there's no way to know for sure if it's the right living room. We need to build deep. We need to have depth in our downline. We need to not let our directs pass us. We need to work up and down our legs. We need to work with the right people. I didn't understand this one. We need to go from living room to living room, and we need to have a heart towards helping people. So now you all know how to be successful in Amway, so we can join and we can make millions and millions of dollars. 20 plans, so most of them are so awful and don't work. Yeah, he told us out of 20 plans, you might have 4 good ones. And he's some fancy ass Amway diamond, and he has 4 good plans out of 20. How are we supposed to make any success? Have any success in Amway if the majority of our plans are going to be trash? I bet I missed most of the stream. Yes, we're almost done. No worries, though. Yeah, if you're interested in another Amway stream, you can check out the replay. Versa, I also only have 1 living room. I wonder if my living room is the right one. And how are we supposed to know if it's the right one if we don't know the person? We don't know the person. We don't know if they're that interested in Amway. Our upline doesn't know this person. How is our upline going to know if it's the right living room? A plastic diamond, a plastic Amway diamond. This was great. I'm really happy that we're able to do this. It was nice to have another stream so long after, it was nice to do it after a long break. It was really fun. Great conversation as usual with our Amway streams. I'm going to do a Tony Robbins video on Sunday, my normal Sunday time. If you were around for a while, you would know that I did a Tony video a while ago and it got blocked. It got blocked because I played a minute and a half of a 3-minute video at once. So I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to skip through a 5-minute video and listen to it for 20 seconds and then go to the next minute, then go to the next minute. So we're not going to watch the whole thing, but I'm going to make it impossible for Tony's bots to block my video again. It's not going to happen, Tony's bots, I promise. You're welcome, Lori. Thank you so much for joining. You too, Sherry. Yes, Tony. Oh, thank you, Gary. That's so nice. This was awesome. I really appreciate so many people being here, and I will see you guys on Sunday. Bye.